I was working on some notes the other day and I was using a pencil, and I want to show you the pencil that I was using. It was those numbers right there. That's the numbers for pi. It's a 3 with 48 numbers after it. And I don't know about you, but when I get into something on math like that, I get real nervous. I did okay in math when I was in school. Here's where I ran into problems. I could solve equations with single variables. But whenever you had multiple variables, 2 or more variables, I could solve for x, but I couldn't solve for x and y and whatever else there was. It just got too confusing for me. So Jesus is going to give us a math lesson. We're going to be talking again about Martha and Mary. If you have your Bibles, open up to Luke chapter 10. This is in verse 38 to 42. Jesus gives a math lesson. The first one I want you to look at is Martha. It says, "Now as they were traveling along, he entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home." So as you read these verses, I want you to understand all the things going on with Martha. Number one, she owns the home. She feels a lot of pressure because she's the homeowner. As you go through the verse, you find out she's also on the welcoming committee. She's on the preparation committee. She's making them food. She's on the serving committee. And as you go through, you also find out she's on the confrontation committee. That's 5 things, 5 variables in Martha's life. And when you see it described, it says that when Martha has 5 things going on in her life, verse 40, Martha was distracted. You ever felt like you're distracted? 5 variables means most of us are going to be distracted. That little word distracted means that she was being drug around. You ever have that feeling? You know, it was crunch time. It was the last 10 minutes before somebody's coming over for dinner, and you feel like you have to get everything done, even though you thought everything was done. There you find all kinds of things that still need to be done, and it's crunch time, and you get distracted. That's Martha. All right, contrast that with Mary. This is her sister. Verse 39, she had a sister called Mary who was seated at the Lord's feet listening to his word. She had one thing to do. You see, she didn't have 5 variables. She just had one thing to do, and Mary was doing it well. So Jesus even gives a math lesson on Mary. If you look at it in verse 42, but only one thing is necessary, Jesus says, for Mary has chosen the good part, which shall not be taken away from her. She was focused, and she did just one thing. That's one variable only, and most of us can handle that. All right, so how do we maintain peace when we have a lot of things that are coming at us and there's confrontation and all those kind of things? I'd say this: you have to limit the variables. So the first thing you do with limiting variables is get one thing. Just do one thing at a time. When you look at this passage in the book of Luke, it's Luke chapter 10. This is in a section of Luke that we call the travelogue. In Luke chapter 9, verse 51, it says that Jesus resolutely set his face to go to Jerusalem. He was on his way to Jerusalem. Everybody was telling him not to go because you know why? He's going to die there. He's on his way to Jerusalem. He stops by Mary and Martha's house, and he comes in for dinner, and it's crunch time. Martha has all these things that have to be done. And she says, let's just do one thing. So you have to limit the variables. In this way, you have to be a Mary. All right, so there's something else to do to maintain peace. Sometimes you have to just follow energy. We have a little statement in our family, and it is follow energy. Do the things that somebody's excited about. Martha is very excited. It's crunch time. She gets excited, and sometimes she just needs someone else to help join in. Can you do that sometimes? Mary needs sometimes just to join in with some of the things that Martha needs to do. Something's coming up soon in your life, I guarantee it. Something you'll need to maintain peace. Do you need to be a Martha and just follow energy? Do you need to be a Mary and just do one thing? Enjoy Luke chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. Have a good day.